Hello and welcome to another review. Now in this review we're going to be looking at the Cyborg Rat 7 mouse by Mad Catz. Now this mouse has got, well, it gets a lot of attention wherever it kind of goes just because it looks really weird. Let's pop the door open off the box so you can have a slight look at it there. Now first thing you might notice is it's a very strange looking mouse just because there's loads of different bits and it almost looks like a transformer. We'll have a little bit more of a look at the mouse in a moment, but we're just going to take a little bit of a moment to enjoy the box, just because it is a very pretty box. There's more sides to it than anything I've seen before in my life. It is crazy. It's a very pretty box, and that's probably what took my attention to it when I first of all saw it. So we'll have a little look on the back here. We can see the underside of it and a load of zooming in bits of loads of different bits on the mouse. There's some quite cool features on here. You've got the thumb scroller, you've got a sharpshooter button on there, but the main thing about the mouse is that it's just adjustable in pretty much any way that you can think of, which is really cool. But without further saying any more, I'm going to whip it out of the box and show you what it looks like. There we go, and here it is. But before I show you the mouse, I'm just going to show you the box again because it is really cool. You've got, what would be a normal kind of box shape, but then they've also put in the extra face here, a face down the side. There's an extra ridge here at the back, and also quite nicely on the front, as I opened up earlier, you have got a door on there, which you can see the angle of the door, load of information on that screen there. But again, on the inside of this panel here, you can also see how the plastic packaging inside, which houses the mouse, is also all it's been molded into that shape, which is quite cool, really. So yeah, it's a really lovely box. But anyway, onto the mouse, onto the mouse. So here it is in all its weird cyborgy glory. It's got a 5600 DPI laser, so for those out there with high sensitivities, you're going to have to not worry about anything. It's going to be able to be sensitive enough. And also it's got quite a high quality laser in there as well, so with low sensitivity it's not going to be letting you down or like missing movements and things like that. You have got custom weights in there as well, which I'll get to a little bit later on, but you can adjust the weighting in there as well. But the big thing with this mouse is the sheer customization ability on it. So say for example you wanted to swap this bit over, you've got a little lever here, press that in and you just pull it off. Say you wanted to swap this bit here, we unscrew this, which is an Allen key, which is just stuck in the back of the mouse there, whack that into the screw and then we just unscrew that. There we go. There you go, undo that screw and then that just pulls off here. And then also we've got this side section here which you can do two things on. You can screw the back, which moves it forward and backwards. And you can see that position changing on there. So depending where is most comfortable for you, you can set it up there. And you've also got this screw here, is it that one there? Where is it? Yeah, we go. It's on the top here. If I undo this bolt here, you can also move it out to the side and move it back in. So depending on where is most comfortable for you to have your thumb, if you have quite an open palm, you pull it out as far as you like. If you have quite a closed grip, you push it back in. And then once it's in your position, simply tighten that bolt back up there on the top and it keeps it in there. So you've taken these bits off, what are you going to swap them over with? Well, in this silver tin of surprises, we just whack it open and we can see we've got a pinky rest here and your other standard pinky rest like that there. We have our extra weights in this little middle section here, and then we have our palm razors in there as well. So have a look at all the individual ones. So that's the standard one that comes on the mouse. We then have one which is raised up slightly higher. So if you like to have your hand more of an arc, then you use that one. But then also, instead of this one here, it's at the same height, but it's got a different grip on there, which it's a lot more comfortable, I find. As you can see, I've used it quite a bit. It's a lot more comfortable, I find, anyway, on my palm. Then in regards to the pinky supports, that's the standard one that comes on the mouse. Then we also have the pinky with support. So when you're using it, your little finger just sits in there, so you don't have to like have it running across the desk or anything, which I personally don't like. I'm not a fan of. I kind of grip the mouse with it. I like to feel the mouse mat underneath my finger, so I don't really use that one. But that's just personal taste from me. And you also have the other pinky rest there, which, similar to the palm support, has a different grip on there, which I use both of these two together just because it feels like I've got more control over the mouse. So let's move all those away. So these are the two I want to use, and let's say I want to make it a bit heavier as well. So this is where the weights are stored when they're not on the mouse. And as you can see, they come in little rings, which are 6 grams each. Now to put these on, all we do, unscrew this section here on the mouse itself. As you can see, there is a spring on there as well, which is very important. Screw that all the way, pull the spring off, and then say we want to put another 12 grams in there. Simply put those 2 rings on there, put the spring back on, and then screw the main section back on as well, or the stopper onto it. And once those are on there, we've simply upgraded the weight of the mouse by another 12 grams. Which is quite nice. It feels, I actually feel the difference in the weight there, which is quite nice. Now I'll pop this mouse holder back into its home, along with these other bits that we aren't going to be using now. And as you can see here as well, while I'm putting these away, the mouse comes with software and then your 2 little explanation-y books as well. Now the reason why there's software in there is because the mouse does have on-the-fly sensitivity adjustments. So if you are playing a game and you want to quickly make your mouse a little bit more sensitive, say if you've picked up a gun which fires fast and you want to run around a bit, or you're being a scout in Team Fortress, then you're able to do that. Or if you want to take your sensitivity down if you're sniping, you're able to do that as well. And you've got the onboard sensitivity adjustment button, which is just here behind the scroller, as you can see. But the other thing on this mouse, which is really cool, which again sets it out from the crowd, is it has something called the sharpshooter button. Now, if I just bring this around here for you, see that little red button there? Now, this is a touch adjustment sensitivity thingy. Pretty much when you press that button there, it takes the sensitivity of the mouse down to a sensitivity which you've pre-assigned in the software. So it's contrary to the sensitivity adjustments here on the top. If you press and hold that button down, it only changes the sensitivity while you're holding it. So if you are sniping, or using a sniper rifle or something which you want to have a bit more control over, then pretty much press that button down when you're using it and it'll adjust the sensitivity there for you. As soon as you let go, then it takes it back to normal. So if you are looking down the sight of the sniper and want to have a bit more of a sensitivity, you can do that. Again, controversially, if you want to have it so it makes you a bit more quicker with the rifles or with assault rifles or things, you can change it so when you hold it down, it makes you a bit faster. But it's a really, really nice feature on there to have. And looking at the other thing, which is quite important with mice, is of course the scroll wheel. It is quite a nice scroll wheel. It's not as kind of clicky as I personally like it to be. Like it's really good for going down web pages and quickly scrolling and things. But for when you're using it to make weapon changes, or you need precise scrolling, so you want to do like 1 click at a time, it's not the best for that. It's got a really nice grip system on there. So no matter what you are going to be changing your scrolling through, but it's more for quick scrolling as opposed to precise click, click, click. You know, you can't really, it's really quiet as well, you can't really hear it clicking over. I can feel it just, but if you are playing like CSS, and you need to do like minor changes to what you're using, then it's not really going to be the best scroller out there for you. You also got here your mode select. I think the mouse can have 3 modes on there, so simply press that, it changes colour, and then it changes what sensitivity you have selected. Again, all of that is controllable throughout the software. Now this is the Rat 7. There's also the Rat 3, the Rat 5 and the Rat 9. The Rat 3 and 5 simply have less features than this one here. The Rat 9 is a wireless version of the mouse. So if you want to have this but you're not really a fan of the cabling, then there is a wireless version available for you. And it also comes in a white now as well, like a shiny white. The cabling here is braided as well. Now I do have a big thing for braided cabling and it is really, really nice to use. And it's flexible and it's just kind of, it doesn't catch on anything, and it's just a nice touch I like with devices. So it does have braided cabling on there as well. So with all said and done, I think it's time to head over for the sofa summary. So the sofa summary for the Rat 7 mouse. Now it is really, really cool. It looks really weird, which is one of the kind of cool points of the mouse, because when you're sat down playing, people will come up and go, that looks a bit weird, isn't it? And then you're straight away like, yes, it's this mouse. The wireless version, I'd like to have a play with myself before I can kind of like comment on that anywhere. But the Rat 7, it's, you know, because there's so much customizability on the mouse, it just kind of sets it apart from the crowd. You've got the weight distribution on there, well, the weighting on there you can change, all the different rests that you can do on there, and the sharpshooter button, the on-the-fly sensitivity adjustment. There's so many cool things on here which you can do. But at the end of the day, is all of that really necessary? I think it's fantastic if you want to have it as a bit of eye candy, or a bit of a, this is a cool bit of kit that I've got. But it's not really something which is overly functional, because you can change everything around on the mouse, but then there's nothing to kind of stop you just grabbing an ergonomically designed mouse like the Kone by Roccat, because that is a really, really comfortable mouse to use. Or even like something by Myonix, or, you know, other mice like that, because they are designed to fit in your hand. So, you know, I'd say definitely have a little look at this one, like give it a go if you can do. But I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10, just because you don't really need to have all of the options available. If you just kind of buy a mouse which is comfortable to use in the first place, there's no need to buy a mouse which starts off as all right and then you've got to move it into position so it is comfortable for you. The thumb scroller on it is really cool, and the mouse wheel is good for speed, but then again, there's just too much kind of involved in this mouse to warrant the pricing that I feel that it's at. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Well, thank you very much for watching. My name's Chris, and see you later.